Duck artists. I have a bone to pick with you. Why the boobs? Okay, look, there's a weird tendency, but it's not quite consistent enough for me to just accept it as the norm. And that is that there are some duck artists, not all of them, just some, who actively make the decision to give the female ducks visible boobs. And I just have a few questions. Because when you look at like an actual duck, they don't have boobs because ducks are just not mammals. Of course, you could come in and you could say like, oh, these ducks are anthropomorphic. They do plenty of things real life ducks don't do. And you're right, they do. But this is such a highly specific decision. Because back in the old Disney shorts, we have characters like Daisy, and she's not depicted with boobs generally, right? And that's the general place we're working from with these designs. And if we go further than that, Carl Barks didn't give the female ducks boobs, or well, we're not talking about the time or times he was asked to remove them, and we might discuss the non-Disney ducks at a later date, but you know, Daisy, Goldie, Magica, etc., no boobs, and that makes sense, they look perfectly fine. But this means that any duck artist who has drawn these characters with visible boobs has made the active decision to change that specific part of the design. Let's take Don Rosa for example. Big Carl Barks purist, loves continuity, the anything that isn't Barks is bad, including my own work guy, right? Consistently draws most of them with boobs. He changes very little about the designs out of respect for Barks or something, but that particular detail, he changes that. He looked at Carl Barks' female ducks and was like, you know what they're missing? Boobs. And then he drew them with boobs, and I genuinely just don't understand it. And of course you could make an argument that some of these characters are meant to be attractive or seductive in some way, like Goldie O'Gilt for instance, she's written to be seductive, but you don't really need the boobs for that. Like in Carl Barks' Back to the Klondike, we can tell she's meant to be in-universe attractive because of body language and the way people see her and how she has eyelashes. All the women are already marked with just having eyelashes, like in every other godforsaken cartoon universe that feels the need to do that for some reason. We don't need the boobs, they add nothing unless you really want to look at boobs on fictional ducks. And I will admit, I wasn't thinking about this growing up, but once you start noticing it, it's difficult to unsee. There are also some more extreme examples. Bas Heyman's Magica artist for auctions got the human legs still haunt my dreams, and Claudio Charrone is an excellent artist, and of course we'll overlook his commission since that's between him and his clients, at least it's not in the comics, right? Right? Of course, some of the artists are more normal about it. Again, this isn't the thing everyone does. But when there are over 1,000 duck artists, even if less than half of them do it, that's still a lot of people. I'm just picking a few of the more well-known examples here. Maybe it boils down to the whole the ducks are more so humans drawn as ducks mentality, but is this really necessary? Must we add to the potential sex appeal of the anthropomorphic ducks to enhance their humanity? Is this truly the only way we can view the female ducks as people? There's probably an argument to be made that the reason this tendency would form is that the people hired to do duck comics are often men who used to work on other comics, where sexy human ladies with boobs were more common. Carl Barks was no exception to this. He used to work at the Calgary Eye Opener, which sure was a time. Don Rosa was a fan of plenty of different comics, and just generally speaking, a lot of duck comics are made by men who like comic books. And they are also slightly targeted towards young boys. And when you have that, you might get some sexy duck ladies every once in a while, and you might give them boobs, or even worse, you might give them human feet, which I'm definitely not going to unpack. Though I guess Gyrogearloose also has human feet for some reason, maybe because they were too cowardly to give him chicken legs or something. The thing is that I don't think the people who do this necessarily realize it, like at least not all the time. I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt here, but like, you do see it, yeah? Because it makes the designs look really weird when you think about it for too long, especially when they also have like an hourglass shape, which honestly fundamentally goes against how shaped these ducks ideally are. It plays into the general trend where any female equivalent of something needs to be more human and sexy in some way, and it's just super weird. We get like the hourglass shape and boobs and makeup and revealing clothes for literally no practical reason. Could we maybe stop that? Yeah? Please? Anyway, yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this video. I guess, if you're an official duck artist, ask yourself the following questions. Do you give the female ducks boobs? Does it add anything to the experience that they have boobs? Is whatever it adds kind of weird fan art bait? And, yeah, just reflect for a second, I guess. I'm fine. So, this is a weird video to announce this in, but I recently opened a Ko-fi, mostly because I thought it would be really funny since it means I can officially declare myself a professional duck influencer. If you've drawn sexy ducks and want to make it up to me, you're in luck. Just click the link in the description or go to ko-fi.com/lucentleaves, then just fill in the number of sexy ducks you've drawn, and it'll automatically calculate how much you owe me. If you plan to draw at least one sexy duck a month, consider getting a membership, and then I'll also throw in some previews of upcoming videos in the hopes it'll distract you next time. I've made one stretch goal so far where I plan to make a video on the game Going Quacker/Quack Attack that'll include me streaming the game live on Twitch if possible. So if you're interested in seeing that, you can go donate as well. Anyway, thanks for watching.